Hello, welcome to another episode of Life and Business Conversations on Show Me What to Do with Freda Raymond. So today I'm going to be talking about why not seeing business as war is essential for success. And for most parts, I'm going to be using the story of Cain and Abel to illustrate. Oh, no, not the Cain and Abel from the Bible, but the Cain and Abel from the Jeffrey Archer book. Fantastic story. I really loved that book and I loved the movie as well. As usual, you know I like to dive right in, but I'm not doing that today. Instead, today I'm going to remind you that if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications so that you get notified anytime I post a new video and you don't have to miss any of the goodness on here. And now it's time for me to dive into the topic of today. And it stems from a quote that is really famous, a quote that is attributed to businessman Kevin O'Leary, and it goes, "Business is war, treat it as such." It sounds so good, when you think about it. All those things fighting you in your business, or you see as fighting you in your business, you really want to tear them apart. You really want to destroy them. You really want to just get rid of them and annihilate them. And some of what Kevin O'Leary said when he brought out this quote is that he wants his enemies to suffer. He wants to see them really suffer, and he wants to see them being destroyed. He wants to tear them apart and make minced meat out of them. But my question today is, have you really considered what it really means for your business when you see business as war? Have you really considered it? So I promised today that I was going to tell the story of Cain and Abel. It's a book that was written by the famous author Jeffrey Archer. I love his book. A lot of his books have fantastic lessons in them for people to learn. Now, Cain and Abel is the story of two men who were born on the same day but on opposite sides of the world, as well as opposite sides of, should I say, income or lifestyle. So Cain, that's his surname, but in the movie he's known mainly as Cain. William Cain was born into a rich family in Boston. His father was a banker, and he had, the typical silver spoon upbringing, and he was very intelligent. His dream was to become a banker like his father, and he went to Harvard, and so on and so forth. And he's and eventually, unfortunately, his father died when he was young, in the Titanic. Cain inherited the bank, Cain and Cabot, from his father, even though he was still in school and so on and so forth, and that is the way Cain was raised. Now, Abel, on the other hand, was raised, he was even born in the forest. He was raised by animal trappers, and he had a very funny upbringing, a very, very hard upbringing. He went through the war. In the war, his family were all killed. He eventually managed to while he was being transported to Siberia, he managed to escape. He almost had his hand cut off when he stole a loaf of bread because of hunger. And if not that, some British men noticed the bracelet he had on his hand, which had belonged to a baron in Poland. They would have cut off his hand, but that was what made them take him to the Polish embassy, and he was eventually sent to America as an immigrant, and he started his life anew over there. So here's the interesting thing about this story. These two men only ever really met once and had a conversation once. But eventually the entire story was all about the war they were fighting with each other. Abel, he kind of, he started working in a hotel. And he won the heart of the owner of the hotel. And during the Great Depression, the bank, which is Kane's Bank, refused to support this man's hotel, and so the man committed suicide. But he left the hotel to Abel. And Abel also asked the bank for help, but he was refused. Along the line, an anonymous donor decided to invest in the hotel and helped him out. But Abel was already very, very angry with Cain for causing the death of his benefactor. So he swore that he was going to deal with him. And that was eventually what the whole movie was about, the shenanigans of their business war. To make matters worse, Cain's son, Richard, and Abel's daughter, Florentina, met, not knowing, about the war between their fathers. They fell in love, and eventually they got married, even against the wishes of their fathers, which led to both men ostracizing them and not being associated with them. So both men, because of the war that they were fighting, decided to disown their children. It got as bad as that. And I'm going to use this story to illustrate the reasons why. So I think I have about 6 reasons why you should not see business as war, and why it is essential for your business success not to see business as war. So my first point as I start is focus. Focus on what is important. Have you ever thought about where the focus is in a war? The focus is usually on the enemy. Okay, so in this case, in business case, your competition. How you're going to outwit them, how you're going to outmaneuver them, how you're going to destroy them, how you're going to make them, know that you exist and that you are more powerful than them, or you can sell more than them, or you are much better than them. So you focus on the enemy. But the truth is this: almost the only reason why you should even focus on your competition is just to differentiate yourself in the markets, to understand what they're doing, and to decide how you're going to position yourself in the market so that you're different from them, so that you attract your own ideal customers. That's it, really. Listen, your customers are the ones who are growing your business. They're the ones paying you money. They're the ones giving you money. Your competition are not growing your business. So focus on meeting the needs of your customers. Focus on satisfying your customers. Focus on, exceeding your customers' expectations. And you might not even have to worry about your competition at all. So focus on your customer. And while I'm talking about focusing on your customer, my second point has to do with respecting your customer. You see, when you see business as war, it shows that you don't even see your customers as people with choices. You make it look as if this business thing is 2 children that are dragging a toy and fighting for a toy, and the toy has no mind of its own, has no choice. If you're in a highly competitive market, you will be fighting so many battles, because the mindset, the kind of mindset behind this is that when you annihilate your competition and all of your competition, then the customer has no choice but to come and buy from you. But hello, your customer has a choice. How many battles do you want to fight? Just focus on pleasing them and getting their money, and you'll be fine. See, your customers have a choice. based on their needs and what they are looking for. If you pander to that, you don't have to even really look at your competition. So focus on meeting the needs of your customer. And that's not war. That's simply doing what your business was created to do, to add value to the customers. And while we're talking about that, my third point has to do with you saying no to casualties. Listen, there is no war on this earth that people have fought and both sides have not had casualties. So even as you are fighting this war that you think you are fighting in business, your enemy is not, or your competition is not going to sit down quietly and take whatever it is that you are dishing. They will give you back the way you are giving them. They will also be looking for strategies to deal with you the way you want to deal with them. Now, why go through all of that negativity, when you can be focusing on the people that are there to really grow your business? Think about Ukraine, think about Sudan, think about all the places where there's conflict or there has been conflict. People who have been involved will tell you that every side suffers, and even at the point where maybe the war has ended, there's still so much hurt, so much animosity, and so much distrust. And why do you want to bring that into your business? Just say no to casualties and refuse to see business as war. So Cain and Abel were fighting to the point that they ostracized their children for getting married. So they were not, when Florentina started to build a chain of stores, they were not involved. They couldn't even help their children start their own life of success. They were not involved. When they had a son, Abel's grandson and also Cain's grandson, whom incidentally they named William Abel Cain. Cain and Abel were not involved in their grandson's life. Now, let me tell you the funny thing. In a plot twist, it turns out that the anonymous donor to Abel was actually Cain. Due to conflict of interest, he could not reveal that he was the one that backed Abel and gave Abel the money that made him build the hotel up to become the business mogul that he did. So you can imagine that Abel was actually fighting his benefactor. He just didn't know. It couldn't be revealed to him until after Cain had died. And guess what? Cain died without ever talking to his grandson or reconciling with his son Richard or Abel's daughter. At least Abel had that chance. But guess what? After Cain died and Abel found out that it was Cain that backed him, it shattered him. It affected him so much that it affected his health. But the only thing he could do was to reconcile with his daughter and Cain's son and then get to know his grandson. So, like I was saying, when you take business as war, all sides suffer, and you want to say no to casualties. And while I'm talking about that, let me talk about a fourth point. In war, there are always dirty tricks. You know this saying where they say all is fair in love and war. What they're just trying to say is that no matter what you do, it's okay. But is it really okay? I mean, think about it. This HBO series, Game of Thrones, comes to mind. Imagine all that gore, all the gruesomeness, all the wickedness, all the betrayal, and all the confusion that went on. Why would you want your business to be entrenched in that? And note that if you have that mindset of business is war, that is how you will train your employees. and your employees will have the same mindset. So even inside your own business, it will become a culture. It will become the way your employees will be dealing with one another. Why would you want to build a business like that? Which brings me to my fifth point. You need to protect yourself and protect your business. Listen, war dehumanizes people. It causes them to go outside of their ethics, outside of their principles, outside of their values. You see, when you're in a war situation, for some people, they just want to survive. And then for the people who started the war, you know, they want to win. They just want to win. So you find people doing things that they would not ordinarily do. So back to my story about Cain and Abel. Abel went into partnership with Cain's ex-stepfather. Why? Because, you know, as they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's what he was doing. But Cain's ex-father was somebody who was known as a fraudster. He was a known fraudster. And, you know, when Cain's father died, this man married Cain's mother. And he squandered all of her money and even eventually led to her death. So because of that, Cain threw him out and Cain dealt with him, you know, for that. And because of that, he really hated Cain. So when he found Abel and he saw that Abel also had a similar feeling for Cain, they teamed up. But guess what? Abel really wanted to do a lot for his country of origin, Poland, and was gunning to become the ambassador to Poland. But because of his association with a nefarious character, Cain's stepfather, he lost that opportunity. So you see, when you go outside of your business principles, you will start, you want to deal with your competition. You start to associate with people that ordinarily you shouldn't associate with. Ordinarily, people that ordinarily you wouldn't even want to do business with. And you start to do things outside of character. So protect yourself, protect your business by not seeing business as war. You'll agree with me that we need a lot of human compassion in the world. So why would we want to be doing business where we're thinking about how to destroy our competition? Besides, your competition didn't go into business to destroy you either or to ruin you either. They went into business for another reason. Like I said, chief reason to go into business is to add value to your customers. So focus on that rather than focusing on how you are going to, you know, annihilate your competition. Interestingly, the whole premise of business is war is based on scarcity mindset. The mindset that there's not enough to go around. So I have to get all I can and can all I get and deprive other people from getting a share because there's not enough to go around. And we all know that this is a negative mindset to have. It's a bad mindset to have. But the world has evolved so much that when you listen to truly global businessmen, they will tell you that there's more than enough to go around. They will tell you that you should operate your business with the abundance mindset. You have your customers, your competition have their customers. Focus on yours, let them focus on theirs. There is more than enough to go round. No two businesses can do business the same way. You have your competences, they have theirs. So focus on your competence and they'll focus on that. And in fact, this leaves an avenue for collaboration. You see, truly global companies, they are collaborating all over the world. And then the small-minded ones are the ones who are still thinking, oh, business is war, I should, treat it as such. Collaborate to give your customers a stellar experience. Join your competencies together and create something fantastic for your customers rather than having a scarcity mindset. The entertainment world is amazing at collaborations and at doing that. So I'm in Nigeria and we have what we call skit makers. I mean, if you're Nigerian here or you watch Nigerian skits, have you seen how these people are collaborating with themselves and collaborating even with actresses and actors? And then you find somebody in the music industry collaborating with an actor and an actress, or you find, you know, a comedian collaborating with an actress, or an actor or a musician or whatever. I was recently watching a skit by Mr. Macaroni where he had Chioma Akpota in it, and I laughed so much. So imagine if two of them instead saw themselves as competition. They wouldn't have created that stellar piece of skit that they did. Or, in fact, those are not even direct competitors. Think about Kiki and Shaggy when they come together and collaborate to make skits. Sometimes it is Kiki who has asked Shaggy to come to be a part of her skit, and sometimes it's the other way. Shaggy has asked Kiki to be a part of her skit. But guess what? I'll be watching Shaggy and I'll also be watching Kiki, because globally companies are now after wallet share. They're not really after market share. It's difficult to move the needle in terms of market share, but wallet share, you can. So let me explain wallet share. It is very difficult for you to find somebody, a consumer, who uses just strictly one brand. See, let me tell you, people who wear Nike, they also wear Adidas, and they also wear other sports brands. People who wear Gucci, they also wear Louis Vuitton. They also wear Versace. They also wear other designers. But you see where wallet share comes in is you focus so much on meeting the needs of the customers that you want them to buy you more than they buy the other brand. And that is not because you have annihilated the other brand. You see, there's nobody that is really buying only one brand. Let me tell you the thing. Maybe some people are buying because the supply is low. So you know this law about when supply is low, demand will be high, the price will be high, you know, and all of that. And where supply is low, the people don't really have a choice, so they will pick and buy that thing. But immediately competition comes in, and that competition is meeting their needs better than the one that, you know, they were forced to buy because they didn't have an option. They will switch like tomorrow. So what you want to do is to make sure that you are meeting their needs and you are touching them and at the point of their problems and solving it for them, so that they will choose you more than they will choose your competition, so that you will become first of mind to them before they will think of your competition. And that's just simply what wallet share means. Wallet share is, I have my wallet, I have $100 in it to spend, and I want to buy shoes. Gucci wants maybe $80 out of my $100. This is just for illustration. Or Louis Vuitton will say, okay, let me go after her and meet her needs so that she will buy me more than she buys other designers. So really, that is what you should be thinking about. And when you think like that, it helps you to see who you can collaborate with in the market. Build rather than destroy. Build relationships. Build partnerships rather than destroy. When you see business as war, you are all about destroying. But when you turn your mind around, you know, and you upgrade your mindset from the business as is war mindset, you'll be thinking about, who can I collaborate with? The person wins, I win, we're all happy, the customer is happy, and everything is hunky-dory. And I'm actually talking about not having a fixed mindset. So the fixed mindset is the one that thinks that for me to win, somebody has to lose. And, you know, if I lose, it means somebody has one. No, you want to upgrade yourself from having a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. How can I grow? I'm happy. Okay, I remember a book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where he talked about the concept of win-win. And that's what you should be thinking. That's what you should be thinking. See, the truth is the success comes to you more when you help other people win. Even with your customers. Your customer wins when you solve their problem or when you meet their desires. And you win because they pay you for solving their problems or meeting their desires. So think win-win. Think win-win. Stop thinking, oh, for me to win, somebody must lose. No. Think win-win. And when you think win-win, it helps you recognize collaboration opportunities. One of the reasons why a lot, and I get this in this question a lot, business owners asking, so who can I collaborate with? And one of the reasons why they can't figure it out is because they have the mindset of business is war. So you'll be shocked that the collaboration that you want to do is with somebody who is in the same line of business with you. But simply because there's a portion that they don't cater to and you do, and then there's a portion that you don't cater to and they do, you are able to partner and win the customers and get wallet share for yourself. The aim is to make money. Yes, the aim is to make money through adding value to your customers. So focus on that. And that brings me to my 6th and final point on why not seeing business as war is essential to your business success. As a business owner, you must be constantly upgrading your mindset. Having that mindset that business is war is low level. Is low level mindset. It's a low level mindset. And you don't want to operate at that level. So you want to upgrade your mindset. And people that have that business is war mindset are people that feel that everybody is their customer. But I will say it again, and I've been saying it over and over and over again. You cannot cater to everybody. Somebody might even look like they're your ideal client. In fact, they might fit the profile, but it will be just one single reason why they don't want to buy from you. They just don't like your face. Is why they will go to your customer, your competition. But if you have that mindset that I have my clients that will love me, clients that will love what I do for them, clients that come to me because for one reason or the other. See, listen, in the UK, when I was coaching, I had a client who was an accountant that one of the reasons why people were coming to him was because he had free parking. Because he had a parking, his office had a parking lot, and it was free parking for anybody that was coming to see him. It could just be something as simple as that to focus on with your customer that will bring them to you. So really, you can do this, and you can do this if you have truly, fully profiled your ideal customer. You can go after their wallet share rather than trying to go after market share and focusing on your competition. Focus on your customer, focus on meeting their needs, focus on solving their problems, focus on exceeding their expectations, and I guarantee you will get the sales. You don't need to have that mindset that business is war. Rather, have the mindset that business is fun. And I'll probably do another video on that. That's where I'm going to end today. As usual, I'm going to ask you, if you've learned anything today, please write it in the comments. Share. Like I've said, let's have an abundance mindset in here. Share. And remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and share it with people that you know need to hear this. And that's it from me for today, and I'll see you next week with another fantastic video. Bye.